Are you panicking about getting back into dance class? Are you thinking, oh my good grief, I haven't done a single class in the summer holidays and I'm going back to class or college or dance school in a week and I need to get back there quickly? I can help you. I'm Claire and I'm an RAD ballet teacher, that's Royal Academy of Dance Ballet, and I have been teaching ballet for 10 years. I used to be a professional dancer and with a 20-year career, and I have been teaching people ballet for the last 10. So getting back into class. You know, the first thing that goes when you haven't danced for a while or haven't done any activity for a while is your stamina. Yeah, you'll find, oh my gosh, the duration of your class will be the challenge. Especially if you have hour-and-a-half classes. That last half hour, oh my gosh, especially if you're already in the Allegro sequences, in that last half hour, you might get the jelly legs, you might get the lung burn, which kind of literally goes right up into your throat and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to die, which is not going to happen, don't worry. You might, obviously your heart rate will get really high. Please do not be alarmed by this. This is just your body going, oh my good grief, I haven't done this for a little while. You will get it back, especially if you're young enough to be at dance college and your levels of cardio fitness are going to be super, super strong. So please do not overly stress about that. I'm not saying don't do your classes in the holidays, but what I am saying is you're not a lost cause if you have neglected to do them for one reason or another. Now, there may be many reasons. I'm going to digress a bit here because there may be many reasons why you've not done class. I know, and I can clearly remember how intimidating I found going somewhere like Pineapple. Pineapple, when I was younger, in the 90s, that's when I was doing classes. In the 80s, I was at college. So that was the place to go to do your dance classes at the time. Pineapple was super intimidating. I'm short, so literally just the act of turning up at those steps that led up to these super tall doors made me feel tiny. And then you've got the whole rigmarole of, I don't know if you have to do this now, but you had to have your membership and you had to do this and you had to do that. You had to know where to go. Everyone knew where to go. And it felt really cliquey. And it's no fault of their own. It was just one of those things. And it's one of those places where you become really close friends with people really quickly. When I started going there as a professional dancer and it became my place, I hope to God that I was not one of those dancers who's looking at other people kind of going, what are you doing here? But you make friends there, and I'd go there to see my friends. So, you know, it's sometimes from an outsider's point of view, it can look much more intimidating than it really is. So that's one reason why you might not have gone into class. You might be feeling a little bit intimidated, especially if it's your first year of college. You know, your teachers will have said to you, get to open class, it's really good for you. Do the professional class, it's really challenging. And you might be thinking, yeah, and that's understandable. But you know what? It is still a safe space. Yes, it can be intimidating to go in there, but at the end of the day, you're not going to get eaten by a lion or anything like that. So tighten your belt, buckle up, grab your bag and take a big breath and march on in there. You don't have to do any big pretense or anything. Just go in there quietly. Do your membership if you need to do membership now. I don't think you do. Sort yourself out, get yourself ready, make sure you warm up because you will push yourself beyond where you normally go because you're surrounded by lots of people. You've got windows in all the walls, so you never know who's watching. And if you are aspiring to be a professional, you need to dance like that in class. You need to be dancing like someone really important is watching because that's how you get better. And enjoy the class. Literally just pay attention to the teacher, lap up everything they tell you. If they see you're working and you're taking their corrections and you're practicing, you're focusing and you're really engaged with their class and you're listening to what they're saying and you're nodding in agreement and going, or trying something out that they're recommending, they're going to zone in on you and give you their attention, which might be intimidating, but it means they're going to pick out anything that they see that could be tweaked. Any corrections you get are like a godsend, you know. It's like, oh yeah, thank you. Thank them. They'll really appreciate that and put them into practice. I really appreciate that. It's not just about stroking the ego of the teacher. It's the fact that they're kind of qualified, they kind of know what they're doing, and you might not have had someone looking at you from that kind of point of view before, and they might be giving you a correction that you hadn't thought of, or your teacher might have missed. No disrespect to your teacher will be phenomenal. However, it's always good for fresh eyes to look at you and to help you out. So lap it up, okay? Be nice, yeah, smile at your fellow dancers. It doesn't have to be a big cheesy grin, but you can have a little joke, or, oh, I didn't realise that, or you can, make sure you don't barge in and stand straight at the front in someone's space, for sure. But start off a little bit back. You don't have to bung yourself right at the back, but stand back and have a little bit of respect for the people who've been in that class for a long time. Don't be going, oh, I'm going to pick this spot at the bar right at the front. You don't have to bung yourself at the back if you don't want to, but at the same time, don't be marching in, plonking yourself down in Sarah's place, because Sarah will come in as a creature of habit and she'll be put out of her comfort zone because someone else has sat in her place. It's not about, a hierarchy. It's just the fact that she's been in that class a little bit longer and she's used to sitting in that spot. So just hang back a little bit, see where people sit and find yourself a little space. Hang around for a coffee afterwards. Thank the teacher after the class, yeah? Especially if you enjoyed it. Tell them you enjoyed it. They'll really appreciate that. Thank them after the class. Hang around for a coffee. You don't have to go and join a group of people or anything, but just grab a cup of coffee or a cup of tea from the cafe, have a little drink, be approachable, and you might find you make friends. And those friends, you never know where they're going to be. I'm not talking about making friends with a view to them getting you a job, but do you know what? You'll often find if you're all working on a similar dance style, you're probably going to end up in similar auditions, and you don't want to be enemies with the people you're dancing up with. Yes, okay, you might actually be dancing against them. You might all be striving for one job, which happened to me many a time. There was a group of us, we were all the little ones, yeah? And you'd see each other in the audition, you'd think, okay, she got it last time. Okay, well, let's see who gets it this time. You just never know, or sometimes they might want several little people in the show. Yeah, you might be one of the tall ones. You might be one of the really curvy ones. It all varies, yes. Sometimes it is as superficial as how tall you are, how curvy you are, But other times it could be your style of dancing. If you have a style of dancing that's very similar to someone else, it just depends how you dance on the day as to whether you get the job. So, but if you're already friends, you can support each other, you can celebrate each other's wins, and you can form a little group that lift each other up. And that's what I had when I was at Pineapple. There was a little group of us, and literally every time someone got a job, we were all happy for them. Yes, we might have been gutted that we didn't get it, but we were all happy for that person who did get the job. Or a couple of people might have got jobs, so it'd be like, yay, and then it's your turn. If one of your friends gets a job, it means you're at that level, you're all working at that level, it will be your turn soon. So don't let the jealousy bit take over, because it will come. If you're in class, if you're working, if you're striving, if you're doing the thing, it will work out. Okay, so that's kind of gone off tangent even more, but that's about making the most of your classes in Pineapple, yeah? So really make friends, get to know the choreographer. Don't play tricks to get yourself noticed. Just do what you do, be you. That's the most important thing. Be you and just enjoy it, but try and get used to it. If you've still got another week, make this the week that you're going to go into London or whatever town's nearest you. It might be you're in Manchester, you might be needing to go to a Manchester dance studio, or Scotland, or somewhere else, Ireland, anywhere. You could be in New York for all I know. So go into the studio, get yourself into class, and try and do that class for a week. And what will happen is you get used to that choreographer's style, you'll get used to the other people in the group, and you'll form a little friendship group. Maybe not like best buddies in a week, you're not going to do that, but you'll feel more comfortable. If you can do it every day for a week, it will remove some of that anxiety and it will make you feel more comfortable. And you still have a week before, but definitely a week before college starts. So That's my first thing. So first of all, I've talked about if you haven't got yourself into class yet, you still have time to do it, okay? If you haven't been in class because you feel intimidated, try and find ways to unintimidate yourself. I know that sometimes it can feel random, but try and find ways to not feel so intimidated. Arrive early, have everything you need with you, keep calm, be in your own little space, hang back, survey the scene, see where's best to sit or stand, and be approachable to the people around you. Stay after class, say thank you to the teacher, appreciate their corrections, and also, as I say, have a coffee afterwards, and maybe say hello to one or two of the dancers and say, wasn't that a good class? Or, whatever you fancy. So those are ways of making the class more enjoyable for you. And if you're enjoying it, you'll probably apply yourself better and you'll dance better and you'll come back the next day. Okay. If you're watching this and it's literally you're starting college tomorrow or starting back at dancing tomorrow and you're like, oh, I haven't done anything for ages. So you need to kind of, I guess, be mentally prepared. So basically, have yourself know that it's going to be hard, but it's only going to be hard for a few days. Okay? You're young. So you'll get your fitness back pretty quickly. So what you'll need to do is be aware of that. Now, I know when you're at college or if you're at school, you don't really have the option of pacing yourself too much because your teachers will be wanting you to go in full on and doing your absolute best the whole time. Yes, do your absolute best, but you do not need to be pulling any muscles. Yes, you do not need to be stretching so much that you ping a hamstring. Okay, so yeah, you might not be getting your leg up quite as high as before, but if you keep it beautifully placed and everything working really, really well, that will help you. I would say get to class early so you can warm up thoroughly. So at least you're warmed up before you start your class, okay? I would also say if there's anything you can do between now and when your class starts, do that. If it means going for a quick jog, yeah? If you don't jog, go for a really brisk walk. Yeah, that's not going to injure you and that's going to start getting your heart used to working again. Obviously it's been working, but it's not been working anywhere near the kind of pace that you'll need it to work in dance class. If you've got some hills near you, maybe go up the hill and down the hill, up the hill and down the hill. That's a really good workout. We've got a really cool hill near us and it's quite steep and it's got kind of a crisscross of paths. And I see people regularly running up the steps, walking down the hill, running up the steps, walking down the hill. And seriously, just going up the steps, I walk up the steps every day, either up the steps or up the long way around, but I do walk up that hill every day and it is really good for my heart. If you can find a hill near you and do that, that will help get your heart back into that. Oh yes, I need to work a little bit harder, okay? Prepare yourself, have some goals, have some ideas. So maybe do a little bit of a stretch and a class of your own before you go in. So you've got some kind of inkling of where you're at before you get into your first class. Yeah, you don't want to be Monday morning having done absolutely nothing for the entire summer, going into your first ballet class thinking, I have no idea where my energy levels are, where my technique is, where my strength is at the moment, whether I can even do the splits anymore, whether I can lift my leg above 90. Try to do something before. If you're watching this on Monday morning on the way to class, try and just warm up really, really well before class. But if there is a chance of doing something beforehand, so forewarned is forearmed. If you know you've really seized up, you might have had a bit of a growth spurt. If that's happened, just be aware that that's happened and don't overstretch it. Don't push yourself so much that you come out of class going, ooh, I've really hurt myself. As I've already mentioned, you will feel tired, yes. Even if you have done classes through the holidays, suddenly if you're at college, suddenly going into 5 or 6 classes a day, or even if you're in a dance school, you might have 2 or 3 classes in the evening after a full day of school. So be aware that it is going to be hard work the first week. You are going to be tired, Be prepared for feeling tired on Friday after that first full week. Have some really healthy snacks with you. It might be that you can't take nuts to your school if there's somebody with an allergy. Totally get that. But you can have anything else that's like, you know, super healthy. You could have some fruit, bananas. I know they're a bit like high sugar, but some healthy snacks with you, some veggies or salad or something like that, or a bit of protein. Yeah, you could have a boiled egg, although that'll stink the dressing room out. But do you know what I mean? Some seriously lovely food with you so that you don't end up getting really hungry before class. So you don't want to be running on empty all the time, running on fumes and having that crash and burn every so often. You're building muscles in order to be a dancer, so you need to be feeding those muscles. Okay, so make sure you're really well fed, especially in that first week, because you will feel tired and your muscles will be going, oh my gosh, I've not done this for a while. Okay, so that will prepare you kind of physically for it in the way of you've got your nutrition going. Make sure you get a good night's sleep. Again, if you're watching this on Monday morning on your way to class, there's not a lot I can do to help you there. But seriously, if you've just got back to your digs and all your mates are there and you're like chatting, telling each other how you got over through the summer, what you did and all that, lovely. But get to bed early. Do not be sat up till midnight, 1 o'clock, chatting away. You'll wake up tomorrow for morning class feeling like, oh, and your energy levels will be up and down throughout the day. You want a lovely, even, steady pace of energy to get you through that first full day. Okay, so get a good night's sleep. Be prepared to be tired. Be prepared to be a bit achy. Don't over push the stretching. I'm sure your teachers will be very mindful of this as well. They're not going to be going, yay, get down into the splits, get into that huge Grondalegro. I know one college that literally don't do any Grondalegro for the first couple of weeks because they're getting people back into the flow of being at college again. They don't want injuries. So your teachers will be mindful of the fact that you've just had 6 weeks off, even if you were meant to be in class. Not wanting to rub salt in those wounds. So you know you're going to be achy. You've had your good night's sleep. You've got your snacks and your healthy food all lined up to give you lots of protein, lots of nutrients. Yes, you need to eat those vegetables. And enjoy. Yeah. Get back to seeing your friends. It's lovely to be back surrounded by a group who have got the same dream, who are like-minded. You're all striving for that same, it might be different variations of that dream, but you're all in that same boat. Lift each other up, encourage each other to work hard and to practice and really refine. Tell your friend if they've improved or if something's like got really strong. Encourage them. If you see someone practice, think, oh yeah, that's a really good idea, I'm going to practice as well. So literally throw yourself in, go for it, as in focus and enthusiasm. Focus on the teacher's goals. They will give you their aims for the class. If they're wanting to like say, right, we want perfect Cisones by the end of this class, that's your goal. So think every exercise you do, think how that applies to the Cisone. Or if they're thinking, right, it's line and alignment today, in every exercise think, am I beautifully aligned in relation to the studio? Am I rotating those legs from the tops of my legs, not sort of trying to twist my knees? Everything. Are you really extending that foot, that leg, right from your belly button through your hip, through your knee, right through your ankle to the tip, very, very, very tip of that toe? Really focus like that on every exercise, and the classes will go like that. You won't find yourself looking at the clock. So really throw yourself into your class, focus your attention on what the class is about, and also maybe set a few of your own goals for this term. So think to yourself, okay, maybe if you're not quite there with your splits on both sides, make sure you think, right, actually by the end of this term you've got 6 weeks before half term. That's enough time to very gently at the end of every class, not before class, at the end of every class to have a little stretch, see if you can get a little bit further, and then probably by the end of the term unless you're right up here, probably you'll be able to be down in the splits, yes? Or it could be you want to improve the arch of your foot. It could be that you want to get that double or that triple turn in. Yeah, so work towards, have a little goal. Doesn't mean to say you have to get it. That's the difficult part about setting goals. So you've got the timeline. Yeah, you've got, say, 1 turn or 2 turns, so 2 turns or 3 turns, or you want to get the split. So you've got your goal that you want to achieve, and then just little by little, every day, do a little bit towards it. And you will find you will make progression. Do try and measure it as you go. Yeah, so if you're trying for the splits, for example, get a pile of books, use the same books each time, and see if you can take away a book. Because if you're up here and your bottom's up here and you're trying to get into the splits, it seems like quite a way away and you can't really tell how low you're getting. So, you know, if you've got a little pile of books or yoga blocks underneath you, you can then remove a block, remove a book, remove a block, or change the angle of the block until it gets lower and lower and lower. And that gives you a way of measuring splits, for example. Or you might want to make sure that your splits are absolutely with your hips square, so that when you do your grand jetés, you're not kind of hoiking your back leg out, your hips out to make that leg go higher. So little things like that are really, really good. Set yourself something that you want to achieve this term and work towards that in your own time. Yes, use the classes as well, and certainly after each class have a little stretch afterwards or work towards that goal after each class, and that will give you that kind of drive towards it. And again, that will help you start your term more driven. So even if you haven't done much in the holidays, it will help you with your focus and it will help you get back into things quite quickly. Okay, so those are the things you can think about in advance of class. During the class, as I said, really focus on your placement, the way you're doing each movement, making sure that everything's lifted. I'm talking ballet here, but this can apply to any different dance style. So think about the way your core's being held. Think about lifting under those armpits, keeping those shoulder downs, lengthening that neck. Think about all those elements and enjoying it. Think about your performance. Even now at the beginning of term, there's not a show for ages yet, but still think about your performance and projecting out to your audience. After class, you've got to give yourself some TLC after class as well. I was of the era where it was a hot bath after class. I know that has all completely flipped on its head now. It's now ice baths. If you have something that's achy or injury, maybe try a little bit of ice on it before you go to bed. Sometimes hot and cold can really help. So 20 minutes cold, 20 minutes hot. 20 minutes cold, 20 minutes hot. What that does, or you could do 20 minutes hot to bring all the blood to your system, and then 20 minutes cold so that it doesn't swell, and you can keep repeating that. If there's nothing injured, but you're just a bit achy legs because obviously you've just been dancing all day and you're like, oh my goodness, what have I done? Drain your legs. Yeah, literally lie on your bed or with your back on the mat. I do it like this. So lying on the floor, I don't know if this is going to fit in, with your legs up in the air. Yeah, and what that will do, I tend to put my legs up against a wall, and what that'll do is allow all the fluid to drain from your ankles and will relieve any swelling that may have started up in your joints or anywhere like that, because at the end of the day, if you're on your legs all day, it's going to be a tough one. And enjoy. Oh, one final thing. Prepare for the day ahead. So you've had your good night's sleep. You know it's going to hurt a bit. You are prepared to focus. You've got your goal. You're going in with the focus of like, right, I'm going to be really attentive. I'm really mindful in every single class. You know what you're going to do after class. The night before, prepare. So before you go to bed, pack your bag. Make sure you have everything in your bag you need. Are you doing ballet? Are you doing tap? Are you doing point work? Pack it all in there. Make sure you've got your snacks in there. Make sure you've got your lunch. I sound like I'm spelling it out to you and being really patronising. I don't mean it being patronising, but I know what I'm like. I'll forget. So if you've got everything in your bag, you can just grab your bag and go. Yeah, when you get up in the morning, you don't have to think about that. Get up, do your stretches or whatever you do first thing. Have a little meditate if that helps you ground yourself. Have your breakfast, go for a walk maybe, that's always a good idea. Go maybe walk to college just to get yourself centered and get your blood flowing and your body moving. That's the start of your warm-up. And then enjoy your day. You've just got your bag, you've got everything there, and you can enjoy your day. And then after the day, drain your legs, ice anything that's really feeling painful, and relax. I hope that helps. And good luck. Enjoy your first term back at college. Or it could be your first term of college. That's a whole other podcast. Anyway, if you like this video, please share with your friends. Please like it. Please subscribe to the channel and you'll see more tips on getting better at ballet. And if you want to do a class with me, please click on the link in the caption and you can enjoy a class straight away. It's a recorded class, and you can enjoy a ballet class with me right now if you fancy, and especially that's quite good if you're needing to do a class before getting back to college. Although it's a general class, it's not a particularly advanced class and it's not a beginner's class, so do bear that in mind. You can ramp it up or ramp it down to suit your levels. Looking forward to seeing you again. Take care. Bye bye.